Today, we're going to dive into what I think is one of the most critical parts of grant management, and it's the part that starts after all the celebrating is done. It's so often overlooked, but honestly, it might just be the secret to your long-term success.
You did it. That award letter is finally in your hands. That feeling of relief, of success, it's huge, right? You've got the funding, and now your project can really get going.
But hang on a second. Here's a thought. What if getting the grant wasn't actually the finish line? What if the work you do starting from this exact moment is what really defines your future with that funder? Yeah, this brings us to something we can call the finish line fallacy. You know, that sneaky belief that once the money's in the bank, the hard part is over. Let's dig into why that's just not true. And look, it's completely understandable. You have worked so hard to get here. All that research, the writing, getting everyone on the same page. The urge to just kick back and take a breath is real. It's powerful. But here's the thing. What we're finding out is that this next phase, the one that happens after the award, is every bit as crucial as writing the proposal itself. Seriously, what you do now is what solidifies that relationship and has a direct impact on whether you get funded again down the road. And this is where we get to our big idea for today, stewardship. It's not just about managing a budget. It's about strategically managing and, nurturing a relationship. It's about building a real, lasting partnership. So what is it exactly? Well, stewardship is pretty much everything that happens after you get the yes. It's that immediate thank you, it's the public shout out, and this is key, it's the ongoing reporting about how the project is actually doing. It is an active, ongoing process. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Stewardship turns a one-time transaction into a sustainable, long-term partnership. We're talking about the difference between getting one check and securing a whole decade of support. It's that big a deal. So what do you really get out of it? Well, good stewardship is an incredibly powerful tool. It lets you properly thank your partners, it keeps them in the loop with transparent updates, and it totally sets the stage for what's next. At the end of the day, it turns a funder into a genuine fan of your work. And here's the real mind shift. Stewardship isn't the end of one grant cycle. It's the very beginning of the next one. Every single report you send, every quick update you share is basically laying the groundwork for your next proposal. Okay, so we get the why. Now let's switch gears and get into the how. We're going to walk through a practical, actionable plan you can put into practice like today. So here are the 4 pillars for a really solid stewardship plan. First, acknowledge the gift right away. Being prompt shows you're professional and you respect their investment. Second, get organized. Have a system for tracking everything so nothing gets missed. Third, schedule your formal reports way in advance so you're not scrambling. And fourth, and this one's huge, don't forget about informal updates. A quick email can do wonders for keeping that relationship warm. And your tracking system? It can be as simple as this. A spreadsheet like this makes it crystal clear what needs to get done, who's on the hook for it, and when it's due. This is exactly how we make sure nothing ever falls through the cracks, and that everyone on your team feels responsible for that funder relationship. All right, now for what might be the most valuable piece of advice in this entire explainer. We're going to talk about the single most important report you will ever send. And I promise you, it's not the one you're thinking of. We pour so much energy into that final glossy report, right? The one that's packed with amazing success stories and perfect results. But what if that's not what funders value the most? What if the real test of your partnership comes when things don't go to plan? This insight right here is a total game changer. It's a reminder that funders are partners, not just ATMs. They're realistic. They get that innovation comes with risk, and they value honest learning way more than some perfect, made-up success story. So you basically have 2 paths when things get tough. The wrong way? Pretend everything is fine, which just kills trust. The right way? You get proactive. You call the funder, you explain the challenge, and you share what you're learning from it. That kind of honesty is what forges a partnership that can last. And who knows, they might even be able to help. So here it is, the ultimate takeaway. Your toughest moments, those unexpected bumps in the road, they're not a crisis. They're actually your single greatest opportunity. By being upfront and treating your funder like a real partner, you can turn a problem into a moment that cements that relationship for years. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. I want you to look at your own process. After the award letter comes in, is your goal just to close out a transaction? Or are you using that opportunity to build something real, a lasting, honest, and resilient partnership? Because that choice makes all the difference.